The only way that you'll become comfortable with creating custom subnet masks is to work through some examples. Could you take a Class C address and subnet it into 10 subnets with 20 hosts per subnet? How about subnetting a Class C address into 60 subnets with 2 hosts each? Can you subnet a Class A address to allow for 500 hosts per subnet? I want you to work through these examples and make up some of your own. The more you practice, the better you will become in creating subnets. Now, let's talk about assigning IP addresses. You should already have a diagram of your network. When assigning subnets to your network, work in a sequential fashion, starting in the upper left-hand corner of the diagram and work to the bottom right-hand corner of the diagram. This is a common convention. You could assign the subnets in any order you like, but it makes sense to do it in a logical sequential manner. Next, remember that the router interface are hosts on each subnet that they appear. This means that each interface in a router needs to have an IP address that belongs to the network that it's attached to. It's common practice in the networking world to assign the very first available IP address in a subnet to the router. Again, you could assign any valid IP address within the host range to the router, but it makes more sense to stick with the accepted industry practice. One final note about subnetting. It causes us to waste IP addresses. In the Class C subnetting scenarios we worked through in previous videos, we had just 6 usable subnets with 30 hosts each. If we multiply 6 by 30, we end up with 180 usable hosts per subnet. That's out of a total possible 256 IP addresses in a Class C address. We would be using 70% of the available IP addresses and wasting 30%. We have to make compromises when we create subnets. Worldwide, there are just over 2 million Class C addresses. It's very unlikely that you would be able to apply for and receive 6 Class C addresses. The ability to create custom subnet masks is one of the most important fundamentals you need to learn in order to progress in networking. Remember the 4 rules of subnetting, and don't be afraid to work things out on a piece of paper. With practice, you really can learn to do subnetting in your head.